Heinz Kissinger died recently. He was involved in several so-called regime changes. Sometimes you had to kill heads of government or even more people. But that didn't always work out either. There were also massive problems in Egypt, for example. Of course, the whole apparatus has to accept the new bosses, and the people you then appoint, who were perhaps previously opposition groups, have to do what you want them to do, because otherwise the whole operation is a waste of time if you want to have such a massive influence on another nation. What I find so fascinating is Johnny Vedmore's research. He just found out that the team that was responsible for this regime change at the CIA then came to this international seminar at Harvard University and trained people there, with a particular focus on geopolitics in Europe. And that from this seminar, a young man was cast by Henry Kissinger with the name Klaus Schwab, so that this seminar became a larger conference, which today is called the World Economic Forum. This training was financed by the CIA, already at Harvard University. The initiative of the World Economic Forum is from the CIA. And now, of course, you can ask yourself why. And if you think about it, of course, you can also, instead of just observing the opposition groups, exert pressure on the government in a country or even overthrow it. Of course, you can also simply train people who really do what you want them to do and who can then be cast in this process to see if they fit the position exactly or if they fit right here. And so, historically, the World Economic Forum is a CIA regime change operation with a focus on Western Europe. Today, of course, it's global, but in the beginning it was, of course, very important to hold on to the fact that installing a military junta is something you can perhaps still do in Greece in the 50s or 70s, but at some point it's no longer cool. At some point this becomes, how shall I put it, undemocratic. And that's not something you can carry around so well in communication. But if you do it so subtly with further training and so on, then it may be manipulative, but it doesn't necessarily come across as a coup. And maybe it won't be one anymore. That is, of course, a question of definition. In any case, it is a clear exertion of influence on the political development of other countries, which can be implemented so skillfully, with Klaus Schwab also a bit high-handedly, and where many people participate. And the fact that the big companies are involved in these processes makes it a symbolic representation of the military-industrial complex for me, so to speak. So these are my thoughts, and here is an example of the death of Henry Kissinger.